guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Binta, and if you're new here, make sure you hit on the subscribe button and also like this video. So today's video, I just wanted to talk about the chief in Ghana that got married to an African American lady and as his second wife. Yes. So what do I think about that? Because they had an interview with the wife, then with the husband, and they talked about how they met, and they talked about being a second wife, you know, the African American lady being a second wife, and of course the first wife is a Ghanaian. But the only thing I want to talk about is when the man talked about how he met his first wife, who's the Ghanaian wife. He was asked questions which I don't think really needed to be part of the interview, just to be on the safe side, because that was a live video, and on live videos sometimes you could say things that might be a little offensive, or someone might feel bad about it, and you can't just take it back because it is a live video. Okay, it's unedited. So yeah, one thing the guy said about the first wife was that the first wife was chosen for him. By the way, I'm gonna leave a link down below so you guys can check that out if you guys are interested, for those of you who did not watch the live video. Okay, so yeah, he said the first wife was chosen for him, and basically it was not his choice, and he decided to marry the first wife because of tradition and culture, because he was about to be installed as a chief, and for him to be successfully installed as a chief, he needed to get a wife. So his grandma got him a wife. His grandma just brought a woman and say, hey, here it is, and he could not say no to it. He just had to accept. So that basically was his first reason of getting the first wife, of marrying the first wife. Now the second wife is the one that he chose by himself. He loves and adores, and saw something in her, got attracted to her, and decided to marry her. So that is a very, very choicy marriage, and I guess he loves her. So but my issue is the fact that he talked about it on the media. So maybe the lady, the first wife, don't have an issue with it. She might be okay. But I just want to say one thing. Like, no woman, like literally no woman, as far as I'm concerned, and this is my opinion, will be happy to listen to their husband talking on the media that they got married because of culture, but there is no, basically there was no feelings attached to them wanting to marry them. That's very unfair for you to come out and say just like that. I can imagine what that woman would be feeling, you know, whether she says it or not, you know, that any woman would have bad feeling about that. That's not very nice. But I guess he said the truth. That's just the reality. That's the fact. So he said it as it is. If I was in his shoes, I will not answer that question. I will not talk about my second wife like that. Or even if I did talk about him, I would have also included that I don't regret any bit of marrying her because she's a wonderful lady. You know, try to make them feel good, but not just, you know, tell the world that, hey, I married this lady because of culture. There were no feelings attached to it. They just gave her to me and I had to obey. Like, you don't have a choice. I would not have done that, and no man should try to make a woman feel bad like that. That was very wrong, and it's very, very unacceptable. I am not in support of it. I think the man messed up big time, you know, no matter the situation, because I feel like the woman also loved the guy, reason why she decides to marry him, you know. So I thought it would have been more respectful for the guy not to just talk about the first wife in that manner. Basically, it's not as if he shouldn't talk about how they got married, but he could have also talked about some more things about the lady, since you've already brought her in the open, you know. say things you love about her and how the marriage went and how you love her, basically, you know, how much you adore her, just the same way he did with the second wife. You know, I think that's very disrespectful to me. I think the lady, as far as I'm concerned right now, would not feel good. No matter how much she hide it, she might be hiding her feelings, you know, making it look like she's okay, but no woman out there that's gonna tell you that I am happy that my husband is marrying a second wife. You know, sometimes you just have to tolerate it. If they're doing it because their culture allows it, or they're doing it because religion allows it, you just have to tolerate it. But I believe that every woman wish to be the only person in their spouse's life, in their husband's life. And yeah, that's just what I think. And for the second wife, who is a African American, I go back to Africa, ask this guy, no, somebody asked in the comment section, is he going to marry a third wife? And that's where I was like, oh my goodness, because his response was like, oh, I don't know how the African American lady believed that or trusted that, but anyways, but she had said what she gotta say, which is, if he marries a third wife, she is going to leave. I'm like, what? You are going to leave if your husband marries a third wife? But this guy married you as a second wife. So what about the lady that was there? Like, literally, you're going to leave. I think that was very, very insensitive of her. And she was just all over her feelings there, because this guy was already married before he approached you. You decide to marry him, and you don't think he needs to marry somebody else. And the guy said on the interview that, well, she said, if I marry a third wife, she's going to leave. I'm like, okay, I hope you don't believe that. I hope you don't believe that if you're watching. And in Africa, I'm gonna tell you, there's so many people that have said that they're going to leave if their husbands marry second wives, and they eventually stayed, because the culture and tradition and the religion must have allowed it. And sometimes you look back and see everything that you've worked hard for. You look at your kids, and some of the times some people are like, you know what, no, he can do whatever he wants. I mean, it's better for him to go marry a second wife than, you know, be cheating. So, but I guess some ladies even prefer their partners to cheat than marry second wife. So it is a matter of preference and whatever you can deal with. But I thought that was very, very, you know, silly of her to say that she was going to leave if her husband decides to marry a third wife, knowing that she is a second wife. So and if that guy told you that he is never going to marry a third wife, don't believe it. If it happens, it happens. If he doesn't marry a third wife, so be it. But do not put all your hopes and believe in it. So this tells you how crazy women can be. Who says no woman can be jealous that their husband is marrying a second wife? That's a big lie. Even the people that are second wives, they're always jealous if their husband tries to marry someone else. I mean, they get even jealous than the first wife. So don't tell me that, oh, some women are okay, or when women are talking about, hey, my husband married a second wife and I'm okay with it, you know, you don't know what's inside them. They're okay with it, especially African women. They are okay with it because they can't do nothing about it. This is part of their culture. This is part of their religion. So literally, you just can't do nothing about it. The only thing you can do is pack your things and leave. And sometimes looking at it again, do you really want to do that and leave your kids, you know, motherless in a house, you know, because you don't even know if the guy is, if you're leaving, the guy might not let you leave with the kids, because that is your decision to leave. The kids have nothing to do with it. You can't just take them along as easy as that. So this, I would just say, Africa is different from the Western world. The Western world, yes, you can't even marry a second wife, you know, legally you can't do that. But in Africa, a woman leaving her matrimonial house because the husband married a second wife is absurd. Like, people are gonna be looking at you like, oh my god, this lady. So if you wanting to go with your kids when if they're adults, then that's fine. But if they're little ones and the man said no, there's nothing you can do about it. And are you willing to leave your kids behind for another woman to take care of? That is something that most women don't pray for. Like, you never want to leave your kids behind for someone else to take care of. Okay, so but I understand where she's coming from. I understand that she can easily flew back to America and, you know, enjoy life with her kids, you know, however way she wants. That's why she's saying that. But the African wives that are in Africa, it's not going to be that easy for them. So yeah, and because we're used to that cultural thing, sometimes we just let it go. Honestly, we just let it go. But I'm gonna tell you, some of you might think that, oh, because this culture is in Africa, they're okay with their husbands marrying a second wife. No, no, no. Africans are not okay. African women are not okay that their husbands are marrying a second wife, because that leaves you thinking, what is wrong with me? I mean, if my husband is marrying a second wife because I'm not able to have kids, you know, I'm gonna understand that perfectly. But if I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, I'm being a submissive wife, I'm taking care of you, taking care of my kids, I have kids for you, you know, we are a happy family, I will have to think, what is pushing you into going to marry someone else? You know, I may not be able to do anything about it, but I will have my doubts, I will have my questions raised in my head as to why you want to marry someone else. Am I not enough? So yeah, that's just what I think about that live video. You know, I'm really happy for them, and I hope you know, wish them peace and good luck. But for the African American lady, I'm just gonna say, don't trust what the man says. If he marries you as a second wife, he can marry someone else as a third wife. Okay, and for the guy, I'm just gonna say he kind of disrespected the first woman. You know, you really don't need to come out on the media and say, hey, she wasn't your choice, they choose her for you, even though your intentions might not be to embarrass her. But then what are people gonna think? What about the people that are watching? Because when you watch the live video, so many ladies were there. Oh, I feel sorry for the woman, that because of what the guy was saying. Because if you put yourself in the lady's shoes, definitely you're going to feel the same way if your man is on the media saying that you were never a choice for them. Tradition and culture made them marry you. They don't have a choice. So that's not a nice thing to say to any woman. I feel she's not gonna feel good about that, but it is what it is. That was a very sensitive issue that Go Black to Africa brought to his channel, and I would have really appreciated it if he did not ask like any further questions about the first wife, because that way he would have prevented the man saying things like that. You know, that's just what I think. Because I don't think the man said it because he wanted to say it, but because he's on live, he's on YouTube, he can't just get up. And probably his mind didn't tell him that, hey, I don't need to answer that question, so let's just move forward to me and my American wife's question. So yeah, I guess he thought it was necessary to answer, but it really was not. I think I need to do a live video about are our diasporan sisters ready for polygamy? Because this lady, the way she told her husband that she's going to leave if her husband marries a third wife, but she's a second wife. Like, really? Are you for real? Anyways, that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about it, and yeah, let's have a chit chat down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye guys.